Before we get started with today's video, I have an announcement to make. After years of telling other people's stories, I finally released one of my own. My novel Eternal Reign is available now in both ebook and paperback format for those of you who are like me and prefer to collect physical media. You can grab a copy right now on Amazon through the link in the description of this video. And now back to our regularly scheduled program. In the land of Ivalice, there's a scholar named Al-Islam who's been studying the history of the land around a time known as the Lion War. The people say the war divided the land in two, as two sides fought to determine who would become the new king, but it all got sorted out by a lone hero named Delilah. That's the official story, but Al-Islam isn't sure that's the truth. He believes the true hero of the Lion War was Ramza, the youngest son of the Beowulf noble house, who for reasons unknown was scrubbed from history. Recently, the derived papers that had been sealed away by the church were released, and they say it was Ramza who really put an end to the war, despite the fact that the church has him labeled as a blasphemer and one of the most evil men to ever walk the planet. Al-Islam wants to know the truth, so he dives into the derived papers to learn the true story of the Lion War. A year after the end of the 50-year war, the king died of an illness, and his successor was only 2 years old. He's obviously too young to rule, so his guardian will be the one to take over for him. The queen's older brother Lard got the job, but the parliament figured that the queen would use her brother as a means of ruling herself, so they blocked his appointment to the role of the king's guardian and instead gave the job to the king's cousin Galtana. Both Larg and Galtana are highly decorated generals from the 50-year war, but they had support from two different groups of people. Galtana had the support of the high-ranking nobles, but the disenfranchised nobles and soldiers preferred Larg. Galtana's symbol is the black lion, while Larg's symbol is the white, and the fight between the two of them over the throne will eventually be known as the Lion War. Over at the Orban Monastery, Agrias Oaks has hired a group of mercenaries led by a man named Gafgarian to help protect Princess Ovelia when she leaves the place. One of these mercenaries is Ramza, the main character of this story, but before they can get their journey started, an injured knight comes stumbling in saying that Prince Galtana's men are there. Agrias and her knights head out to deal with them, and even though Ramza stopped being a knight a long time ago, he heads out to help them. Gafgarian joins in too, but he plans on asking for more money for the work. Galtana's men are there to kidnap the princess, so Ramza and the others do the one thing that they can in that situation, and that's put them all down. Unfortunately, while they're fighting at the front, a knight sneaks around the back, knocks the princess unconscious, tosses her on a chocobo, and rides off before Agrias can stop him. The knight who snatched her was Delilah, Ramza's friend from a long time ago who he thought was dead. Since Ramza knows the man who took Ovelia, Agrias wants to know all that she can about him so it will be a little bit easier to track him down. So Ramza tells her a very long story. When Ramza was younger, he and his best friend Delilah were both knight cadets. The world had been at war for 50 years, and after it ended, the soldiers who came home didn't have jobs or money, and because of that, they didn't really have any loyalty to the ruling class. A lot of them became thieves and started plotting a rebellion against the royal family. Ivalice stopped being a safe place to be, which meant every night, even the cadets, were forced to deal with criminals. At the academy, all of the cadets get called into a meeting, and Delilah is pretty sure something big is about to happen since both Prince Larg and Marquis Elmdor of Limberry are coming to town for some reason. The Hokuda Knights are on high alert since everywhere is pretty dangerous, but they don't have enough troops to deal with everything, which is why Delilah is pretty sure that he and Ramza and the rest of the cadets are about to get a mission. Sure enough, their commander comes in saying just that. The Death Corps has it out for the royal family, so the cadets have been ordered to hunt them down and deal with them. Prince Larg's knights are at Egros Castle not too far away from the academy, so they'll be helping too, as well as anyone else that can be spared. The main job of Ramza and the other rookies is to get to Egros Castle and help guard it from the attack that is likely going to happen. But first, there are some thieves that have been seen sneaking into town, and the cadets are sent out to get rid of them. Once the thieves have been dealt with, Ramza, Delilah, and the other cadets make their way to Egros. On the way there, they see a man named Algus being attacked by some members of the Death Corps, who are trying to find information on Marquis Elmdor. Since they're supposed to be dealing with the Death Corps anyway, Ramza and his group save Algus by putting them down. Algus is a knight cadet from Limberry, and when he realizes that Ramza is a part of the Beowulf family, he gets excited because Ramza's family is one of the most powerful noble houses around, and they will have the resources to help him save the Marquis. The man's been kidnapped by the Death Corps, and Algus thinks they're going to kill him. Delilah highly doubts that the Death Corps kidnapped such a high-ranking noble just to kill him. Even if they were, there isn't a whole lot that Ramza can do about it anyway. So instead of running off blindly, they head to Egros Castle to get their new orders. Ramza's brother Dicedarg is in charge of Egros, and he's already heard about the kidnapping. He has Ramza's other brother Zalbag leading a search party to hunt the man down, and he's pretty sure that if they haven't already killed Elmdor, the Death Corps will be sending out some ransom demands soon. Algus wants Dice Dog to give him some soldiers so he can get revenge on the Death Corps for killing his friends, but there's no way anyone would give a low-ranking soldier an army to lead, so instead Dice Dog assigns them all to guard Igros. He doesn't think the fighting will reach the castle, but you never know. Algus isn't happy with the assignment, but there's nothing he can do about it. In the old days, his family had as much pull as the Beowulfs, but his grandpa got captured during the 50-Year War and sold his friends out to save himself. Nobody looks highly on people who do that, so nobody batted an eye when a rookie soldier stabbed him in the back. One of his grandpa's friends escaped captivity and told everyone about it, which caused his family to lose all of their political clout. Hanging around the castle is boring, but it does give Ramses' sister Alma a chance to see him. Tata, Delita's sister, is there too, so she finally gets to catch up with her brother. She and Alma are in school together, but even though she tries to hide it from Delita, since she's not nobly born, they don't exactly treat her well. Zalbag is still around the castle too, but before he heads off to continue his duties, he lets Rams and the others know that the Death Corps have demanded a ransom for Elmdor. The whole thing doesn't make sense to him because the Death Corps seems to have bigger goals than just kidnapping nobles for money. He sent a spy out to watch some members of their group, but he hasn't come back yet. Zalbag is pretty sure he's in trouble, but the higher-up nobles don't think there's any reason to search for him. He'd been sent to the trade city of Dorda to the east, and while he wants to send some people out after him, he can't officially go against orders. But since it's not like Rams and the cadets are doing anything productive around the castle, he indirectly sends them to Dorda to look for his missing man. When they reach the city, they see Wigraf, the leader of the Death Corps, brutally interrogating one of his own men. He apparently had no idea that one of his underlings, a man named Gustav, had kidnapped the Marquis, and he wants to know where he took him. When the guy realizes that Wigraf is going to kill him, he spills the beans. Wigraf was going to kill the man anyway for what he did, but when Rams and the others spot him, he decides to leave before he gets captured. There are a few more members of the Death Corps there that Ramses' crew puts down, but they do capture the same guy that Wigraf had questioned. Algus interrogates him in a much more brutal way than Wigraf had, since he's not all that fond of commoners. The Death Corps members do have a legitimate grievance though. They fought in the 50-Year War, but once it was over, they were left to fend for themselves, all because they weren't nobly born. Delita can sympathize since he's not a noble either, but none of them can really agree with kidnapping people regardless of the situation. If the Death Corps is okay with that, then they kind of lose the moral argument. That's why Wigraf never agreed to snatch Elmdor. Gustav is one of Wigraf's top-ranking officers, and he had a different idea about how things should be run, and Wigraf's gone to deal with him. He's hiding in the desert to the north of Dorda, and he probably has the Marquis with him, so Rams and the others head off to save him. They fight their way inside of the hideout right as Wigraf kills Gustav for what he did. Wigraf is perfectly fine with them taking the Marquis back to Igros if they let him leave without a fight. Algus doesn't want to, but Rams and Delita are pretty sure that even if they can beat Wigraf, he will likely make sure the Marquis dies in the fight, so they let him go and take Elmdor back to Igros Castle, where they will very likely get in trouble for disobeying orders, despite the fact that their mission was a success. And that's where we're going to stop for today. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, comment, share it, and subscribe. Grab a copy of my novel on your way out, and I'll see you all next time.